abbreviation. This right here near Weldon Spring and then near Wildwood. We got two more definitive hooks that are trying to develop right now. None of them, again, are producing tornadoes. Neither of these are currently under a warning, but that is definitely a sign that we have more rotation developing. There's also a few little hooks developing over near Otterville, and another one near Grafton, right along the Mississippi River Valley. We do have a live shot just to the southeast of Wildwood. You can actually see the line of thunderstorms approaching right now. Somebody put Merrimack Bluff's camera in like slot 3 or something. Preferably the one looking west. I think that one's looking west. This other one's looking, I think, south. Yeah, that's what it looks like. You can see the shell cloud out in the distance just west of St. Louis. And again, if you guys have any photos and videos, you can send it in to us. It's reports.maxvelocitywx.com. Again, pretty intense line of thunderstorms right now approaching St. Louis. We have an area of rotation right now west of Clayton that is near Wildwood. Not a whole lot of rotation, at least on the terminal radar site further south, but definitely more defined area of rotation that is trying to develop west and southwest of Chesterfield. This is, again, inside of a hook echo that is trying to develop on radar. You can clearly see that hook right there. You go back to radar here. Yeah, again, these two hooks. We'll have another reflectivity scan in a second. No active tornado warning again for St. Louis, but I think a severe warning is going to be needed at the bare minimum. Here comes the next radar scan. Thank you, Pam, for becoming a member. I know a lot of you guys are asking questions about your specific location. If I'm not talking about you guys right now, it's a good thing. But at the same time, if you are out in front of these storms, you need to be prepared. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in Timbuktu over in central Tennessee. You could also be over in northern Illinois near Chicago, where you're going to have severe weather and snow within a 4-hour span. It doesn't really matter where you are in the risk today. You need to be prepared, have ways to receive alerts. Over 50 million people are in the risk of severe weather, and we're going to be talking about whatever is the most impactful at any given moment. We'll do some forecasting, obviously, and talk about some of these places, but with 5 tornado warnings active right now, there's a good chance we'll be over 10 at some point. There will be no answering questions, really. It'll be almost all talking about what's happening, because I truly think we're going to have a lot more tornado warnings than this here pretty soon. The latest scan is still showing a hook right now south of the Suss Airport, approaching Clarkson Valley and Chesterfield. The velocity's just updated, and there is definitely a convergence signature there. So that might get tornado warned. There's at least rotation there. At bare minimum, I'd expect a tornado possible severe warning here heading in the direction of St. Louis. So the latest scan is showing that area of convergence, again, directly moving towards St. Louis Airport, Creve Corner, Maryland Heights. They've just gone ahead and issued a large severe warning with a tornado possible tag. That'll be near St. Louis, back through I-44, Concord, Oakville, and Arnold are all included in this. So if you are in the severe warning, you got to be staying away from windows. We have increasing rotation right now west of St. Louis. You can see the shelf cloud out in the distance. Could have a low-hanging wall cloud on that mountain too. We just can't really tell right now. But that, again, is right on the northern edge here of this tornado possible severe warning, and that is rotating. So again, we got rotation right now approaching Clarkson Valley. Tornado risk is increasing again near St. Louis. See that area of rotation also on the terminal radar site. It's definitely rotating again. This is not a tornado in progress right now by any means, but we could see a tornado develop at any moment. Again, on our velocity scale here, we're putting this around a 4. It's not on the ground. Again, it could be at some point, but it's not on the ground yet. But it's going to be moving towards a very populated area. If you guys have friends or family here in the St. Louis area, please make sure that they're aware of this. Again, we are live covering this tornado outbreak that is really starting to ramp up right now, and this rotation is definitely concerning. Going right towards Creve Corner. We need to be away from windows right now. Jennings, away from windows. St. Louis, you guys got a few minutes, but I would really be getting there as soon as possible, just in case we have a tornado. And at the bare minimum, the wind threat's going to be pretty significant moving through this area. Of another radar scan in a second. I want to go back to this Hillsborough camera. We have this is actually the Hillsborough camera. Very ominous skies here. Still gusty winds out in front of our line. The one that's closer to that area of rotation. Wow, look at this. This is going right into St. Louis right now. So again, this is live. This is one of the radar mega cyclone ports. This is located again on the west side of St. Louis at Merrimack Bluffs, if you're familiar with this area. A lot of low-hanging clouds. We got a lot of scud as well, which is kind of just what we call scary-looking clouds. Those are the raggedy clouds there. I'm not seeing a definitive wall cloud here. Granted, the area of rotation I do not think is in this shot right now that we were looking at on radar. But again, keep in mind, these clouds are pretty low, and it will not take much for a tornado to drop out of any of these embedded circulations within our line. there's a lot of ominous skies here around St. Louis right now. And the area of rotation, again, that we've been referring to is a small hook south of the Spirit of St. Louis Airport that is basically paralleling the northern side of our severe thunderstorm warning polygon right now. We do not have another radar scan yet. We are kind of awaiting a new radar scan. And again, we are keeping an eye on that rotation there near Clarks Valley. There's also a small weak area of circulation north of St. Charles, but that's not really much. It's pretty weak. Here's that line of thunderstorms again rolling in right now to St. Louis. We are back down to 2 tornado warnings. Granted, that number will, once again, increase here pretty soon. They shaded for the $50 super chat. If a tornado is heading for your town, get to shelter with an emergency preparedness kit, family, pets, and protect your head and neck. After the tornado passes, wait over 20 minutes at least before leaving. Also, check the National Weather Service site for info if Max can't. That's a good idea. Appreciate the generous super chat. All right, here comes our new radar scan. All right, latest scan still showing this rotation's now right over the Forest Hills Country Club. It is extraordinarily close to the radar site, which is making it a little bit more pixelated here. But that's our area of rotation still. This is our little hook. It's not a classic looking hook echo by any means, and it does not look like the St. Louis tornado that we had, over a year ago, or almost a year ago. But that area of rotation is kind of on the edge of that right there. It's just south of St. Louis. Almost feels like deja vu. Hopefully it doesn't. This honestly is not far, I feel like, from a tornado warning. This is the terminal radar site. It is showing that red and green. So again, our red is going away from the radar. Green's going towards the radar site. Main area of rotation right now is right over Clarkson Valley. And Creve Coeur, I think it is in the path of this. I know some of you guys are correcting my pronunciation. Creve Coeur, Clayton, Normandy, St. John, Overland. Might be undergoing tornado genesis. There's also a little area of circulation also near Wilkie. This is north of our terminal radar site. That is going to be crossing over the Mississippi River here soon. And that, this is strengthening. I feel like this needs a tornado warning. Meadowbrook Country Club, Logan University are in the immediate path of that area of rotation. It is getting a lot stronger, scan over scan. It has not been getting weaker. So we'll see if they issue a tornado warning here. Again, that is moving directly towards the north and west side here of St. Louis. There's a lot of people that live in this area too. And we have several other areas of circulation also. Again, all of them are kind of right along the Mississippi River Valley here. We got 4. None of those are as strong as this one that is south of Chesterfield. Terminal radar site, once again, is showing a lot more rotation here over the last few minutes. And we're giving you an early heads up. If you're in St. Louis, have that tornado action plan ready to go. Like, make sure you know where you're going. You have flashlights or whatever, have those ready to go too, because we could have something dropping here within at really any moment south of Chesterfield. There's no active tornado warning, but we do have a tornado possible severe warning where we are watching a strengthening area of rotation north of Interstate 44 heading in the direction of Creve Coeur and then going towards Clayton. Our only tornado warning right now is in southern Missouri. This one's going to be back over in the Ozarks west of Centerville, but that might change here in a second. There's also an area of spin that's trying to develop west of Hillsborough. A little bit of spin. Let me go back to this camera here. This is what it looks like right now, just outside of St. Louis. Large shelf cloud, obviously, but again, there could be a tornado at any moment here. Go back to our radar site. Look at the hook echo. I'm surprised this isn't tornado warned. This will be right over Again, there could be a tornado here. If there's one down, it's right over Logan University. There's a very faint CC drop. I personally can't verify that's a tornado either, just purely because of how close we are to the radar site. There's a lot of contamination. There's also a lot of hail coming down too. There's at least some small hail falling, which is kind of playing with our CC values here, our correlation coefficient. And again, what the correlation coefficient does is it basically looks at different particles other than rain. It'll detect things other than rain. And whenever we get colors that pop up that are like yellow, green, or red, that's gonna, or not red, yellow, green, or blue, that'll basically indicate that we have either hail falling, planes in the air, whatever it might be. It's just detecting something other than rain falling. And so we have that right now happening. It's just a matter of if it is a tornado or not. We don't 100% know, but if there is a tornado, it is over a very populated area. There are a lot of residential communities. As you can see on the street map here, there are a lot of homes right here, right next to Logan University. And again, the rotation here is fairly strong. This is only about 3 miles to the north of this camera. And this is what it looks like right now. Almost looks like we have a lowering trying to develop. There's a little bit of spin here in these clouds right here. This is not the same area of rotation. This is near Merrimack Bluffs, which is about 3 miles south of that other area of rotation. A little bit of spin there. Again, this is live on the Merrimack Bluffs cam. This is looking more to the north. Just hard to tell. We don't have a perfect view of that, but a little lowering here on the right that we need to keep an eye on. This is, again, live over Merrimack Bluffs. Anybody hearing tornado sirens right now in the St. Louis area? Just out of curiosity. I don't know if the sirens go off in this area for a severe warning, but I'm in South St. Louis County, and it looks bad. Well, it looks nasty, that's for sure. We got a huge shelf here, but then this is an area of a little bit of broad spin. Everybody's saying no sirens. So there's no sirens going off right now in St. Louis, which... Again, there are some places, I know Texas specifically, a lot of the Dallas-Fort Worth area at least, I used to live there, they have tornado sirens go off even for a severe warning. Latest scan still showing rotation again near Logan University. There is, again, still rotation that is moving directly to the east-northeast. It is going towards Creve Coeur right now. This is what it looks like right now inside of that area, but at least where the rotation is pretty close to. This is on Interstate 64 near Chesterfield, very close to the rotation, actually. You can see how strong the winds are right now. Easily 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, and again, stronger area of circulation right now is now approaching Creve Coeur, just west of Clayton. So very windy out there right now. This is what it looks like back over on live radar. This is actually the storm over here in Merrimack Bluffs. Now you can see this little donut that's kind of formed here. This is, again, our shelf cloud rolling in. There's been a little lowering, though, moving over this camera. And so shelf cloud is now moving in. The wind's going to pick up here in a second. That camera, again, is located right there east of Wildwood. We got a brand new radar scan coming in. We got several little hooks that are trying to develop again along this line. There's another one that is, again, west of Clayton. That's going more towards the west side of St. Louis, and that may have already produced a tornado. We just don't have any official confirmation right now. Huge shout out to Diane with $100 super chat. 1 year ago yesterday, you saved us from the tornado that hit us. We're under our watch again today. Thanks for all you do. I'm glad I can help, and I really appreciate the support. Here's the latest scan. This is, again, the area of circulation west of Creve Coeur, near Westwood, going directly towards Clayton. We're waiting for velocities to update. There are several areas of rotation all directly west of St. Louis. Here's the latest scan. That's still a pretty strong area of at least wind going toward or away from the radar. There's still inflow. So it's definitely still rotating right now, right along Interstate 64 going into Ladue and Clayton. This will be approaching the Washington University in St. Louis, Normandy, and Olivet over the next few minutes. You guys are in the path of this. This is back over to our terminal radar site, and we still have rotation directly to the west of Creve Coeur. Riley has a more important update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, looking to the northwest of Little Rock here near Bigelow. This looks like it is starting to wrap up very quickly in the next or last few scans. I would expect this to produce a tornado soon.
Thank you for the update. All right, so back over near Conway, Arkansas, northwest of Little Rock. Stronger area of rotation is currently developing. They may issue a tornado warning here in a moment. That is a very strong area of winds, at least going towards the radar. A little bit of an inflow as well over Bigelow. That is now approaching the KC XW airport, Conway Regional Airport, directly in the path of that. So if you're in Conway, we need to be ready for this storm. They have warned it for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds a moment ago, but I would expect at least a tornado possible tag, if not a tornado warning here soon. Again, directly going towards the north side of Little Rock. Again, we have a large line of thunderstorms that's developing. We have, again, almost widespread severe thunderstorm warnings at this point, stretching from Tyler, Texas to Springfield, Illinois. And then back over in St. Louis, this is an area that we are seeing a pretty large uptick right now in severe weather, including rotating storms here within this line.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have a tornado warning in Florida. That was not on my bingo card for today. This is north of Orlando. It's near Sanford. This is right over Lake Mary. So if you're in this tornado warning, we need to seek shelter, get away from windows, get to the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. All right. That is right over Lake Mary. That's actually pretty strong, at least low-level rotation. So there could be a tornado right now near Lake Mary. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I was in Lake Mary, I think, like a week ago. So hopefully I did not spread a tornado risk over here. But no matter what, that rotation, again, right over Lake Mary. Florida is on the board today for tornado warnings. We got a tornado warning in Florida before Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee, or Mississippi, which is actually kind of funny. Because, again, Florida, I don't even think Florida's in a tornado risk today. I'm pretty sure it's just a marginal risk for wind and hail. I don't think there's any tornado risk down there today. We do have a tornado risk tomorrow, but I don't even think that part of Florida is in the tornado risk. Crazy stuff. All right, back over to live radar. Again, we still have several areas of rotation right now moving into the St. Louis area. We got a little area of rotation northwest of Old Jamestown. We got another one southwest of Creve Coeur. That is the one that has been the strongest over the last several minutes. They have just issued a new tornado possible severe warning. This one's going to be to the west of Poplar Bluff. So Donovan as well as Van Buren. We actually had a tornado emergency in this area last year. Again, kind of going back to our March and April severe weather outbreaks that we had here along the Mississippi River Valley. They've issued this severe warning quite early. The storms are still well back off to the west, but again, an early warning, 70-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado risk will exist near Van Buren, Grandin, Elsinore, and Donovan going towards the Naylor area. So we need to be ready for that storm as it continues to move to the east-northeast. Got a little storm trying to go up west of Union City, Tennessee. That one has not had a whole lot of luck. By the way, this is really crazy. We have severe weather happening in St. Louis. We have snow squall warnings right now in western Missouri. This is only about 150 miles to the west right now of our severe warning. We literally have snow squall warnings over here. It is 30 degrees right now near Kansas City. We go over to our winter weather radar. It is snowing over here. It's actually not popping up on the winter weather radar, but it's snowing there. Snow squall warning over there. And just barely to the north of these severe warnings, we have blizzard warnings and winter weather advisories. There's a real chance today that we could have severe weather in Chicago and then about 3 hours later have heavy snow. We have a brand new severe warning north of Heber Springs. This one's near Batesville and South Side for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a little bit of dime-sized hail.
A new tornado warning.
They have gone ahead and issued that tornado warning. So this one, again, is going to be back over here in Arkansas. Riley was just talking about this a moment ago. So if you're in Conway, Greenbrier, and Holland, we need to be seeking shelter immediately. This is a very large area that is included in this tornado warning, highly populated area too. So again, get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom, get away from windows, and get on the lowest floor possible immediately if you are in this pink polygon. That area of rotation is over Bigelow, and it is going to be approaching New Dixie. No debris signature right now, but it is very close to the Conway Regional Airport. It's going directly towards Conway. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, looking at a couplet here near Cedar Hill Lakes, or just southeast of Cedar Hill Lakes. I do think this is going to wrap up pretty quickly. Also, we could just basically work our way north along this line and circle them couplet after couplet. There's another one here that's going to wrap up. This one's wrapping up. Over Valley Park, we might still have a tornado there, and there's yet another one to the north of that. I would hope that we get, honestly, just a blanket tornado warning for all these areas pretty soon, because we could see any of those couplets wrap up and produce a tornado.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. Yeah, there's a lot of rotation right now, all up and down this line to the west of St. Louis, and I'm looking still at this one west of St. Louis. Look at the hook echo. latest scan is actually showing a hook now, right over Creve Coeur. This is not something we've really seen much of over the last 15 minutes with the storm. It's kind of gotten embedded, in our line. It's not really been organized. We haven't really had a whole lot of an inflow coming into the storm, and it's now starting to do so. And the rotation right now, let's go over to the regional or the terminal radar site and see if we can see it. And yeah, the rotation's intensifying again. So that's right along Interstate 64, tracking towards the west side of St. Louis. And once again, several areas of rotation further south, as Riley was alluding to. We got one near Hillsborough and another one west of Arnold that are starting to intensify. This is what it looks like over in Hillsborough right now. Very overcast, gusty winds currently. Again, the storms have not arrived there, but it's about 64 degrees currently in Hillsborough, and storms are rapidly approaching. But we need to watch this really closely. West of St. Louis. This looks eerily similar to what we just had last year in St. Louis when it comes to a storm embedded in a line. This is the terminal radar site once again. We're starting to get a little bit more of that rain over the terminal radar site. A lot of storms off to the north too, so the rotation is a little bit harder to see on the terminal radar site, but we can definitely see the hook in the rotation again on our regional radar site east of Chesterfield. No tornado warning over here right now. I'd expect a severe warning going towards Waterloo and Belleville in just a moment here in the western sections here of Illinois. That'd be just south of Collinsville. Brand new radar scans coming in. Once again, St. Louis Airport. We got storms approaching right now. We still have that hook echo now on the west side of Clayton. And then further down to the south, still several areas of rotation right now near Hillsborough. Going back to reflectivity, look at that hook there. Still, it is very defined. There's no tornado on the ground or anything like that. No debris signature. But we got two very distinct areas of wind pushing out. And we have that inflow again coming in from the east side, which is trying to increase our rotation right now. Both on the west side of St. Louis. And again, we do believe there may have been a tornado about 15, 20 minutes ago near Clarkson Valley. No tornado warning for that, but rotation was very strong when this was over that area. We also have quite a bit of hail falling. It's mostly small hail, but a lot of hail falling from St. Charles back over towards Interstate 44. So that's kind of playing with our velocities a little bit, but that would be our area of interest. So that's going over Clayton and Richmond Heights right now. Back over to Arkansas. Once again, we do have a tornado warning, highly populated area for Conway. Main area of rotation is currently approaching the downtown area of Conway. There is no tornado in progress right now.
A new tornado warning has been
And there's our
issued.
tornado warning for St. Louis. Very populated area, guys. If you are in this tornado warning, we need to be in our safe place immediately. Get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building right now. Again, this is going to be for St. Louis, Missouri. There are over, I believe, 500,000 people in this warning, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to get that exact number in a second. If we have friends or family in this area, please make sure they're aware of this. There's nearly 1 million people that are inside of this tornado warning right now. We have two distinct hook echoes right now near Kirkwood, Webster Groves, and the other one's west of Clayton. There could be a tornado in progress at any moment. So you need to seek shelter again immediately. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible if you're included in this life-threatening tornado warning. Once again, damaging winds the biggest concern. There is a possibility of tornadoes with this as well. There's two distinct areas of rotation. It's not one, it's two. I really can't believe the timing of this. It almost feels like last year all over again when it comes to the timing of this. I mean, this is around the same time of day, too. We had this same kind of setup here in St. Louis where we had that large tornado on the west side of St. Louis. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but keep in mind the environment is favorable today for strong tornadoes. And we will have another radar scan here at any moment, but that rotation is pretty strong on the west side of Clayton. And the one near Kirkwood is also equally as strong. Right now on the velocity scale, we're at about a 7 out of 10. We do not have anything confirmed and on the ground right now, but if there's a tornado, one of which will be going over Clayton, the other one will be going right over I-44 right now. There are several live cameras, again, that are inside of this tornado warning, all of which will be on the bottom of your screen here. We'll have, again, people switching them in and out here over the next few minutes. It is very windy, obviously, in the St. Louis area, but that's, again, not the biggest concern. The bigger concern right now will be the potential for tornadoes dropping, as we, again, have two very distinct areas of rotation. New radar scan should be coming in here at any moment. But Hook Echo, again, should be right over I-70 or I-170 in a moment, and then the other one should be over near Kirkwood. We have another tornado warning in Florida. That is the second one of the day in Florida. We've had more tornado warnings in Florida now than we have had in Illinois, Kentucky, or Tennessee all day so far. So that one is in Seminole County. I'm going to stay locked in here in St. Louis. We have our new radar scan coming in right now. That new tornado warning is for Lake Mary, Sanford, and Midway. That goes until 6:15 Eastern time. Bottom right of your screen is in this tornado warning. It's on I-270. This is the latest radar scan. Again, if we have a tornado, we're looking at this area and then this one right here near Kirkwood. Waiting for all the radar to update. That one looked like it was trying to wrap up here. There could be a tornado here. Again, nothing's updated yet. There was a much more defined area of rotation there. So there is that little hook. No tornado. All right, so we do not have a tornado debris signature there right now. And then our northern hook is over on the west side of Clayton. No debris signature on that one either. So again, no active tornado, at least from what we're seeing on radar. Waiting for velocities to update here. Main area of rotation is gonna be south of Kirkwood. And then we have another one directly over or on the basically 1 mile west of Clayton. Velocities have still not updated. There you go. Yeah, we have two still very strong areas of wind, at least going towards the radar. That right there, again, is a pretty strong area of rotation.
A new tornado
over Clayton
warning has been issued.
We also have a new tornado warning in Texas. We're back up to 5 tornado warnings. Our highest so far today is 6. And all 6 of them were issued within about 25 minutes. This area of rotation right now on the southwest side of St. Louis is more concerning to me than the one near Clayton. With that said, the one near Clayton is definitely pretty intense. That is, again, on the it's going to be on the west side of Clayton here. Again, be in your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom if you're in that tornado warning. Real quickly, new tornado warning in Longview, Texas. This is another very populated area. Area of rotation is over Union Grove. It'll be going over Longview over the next 10 minutes. So you need to be getting to your safe place right now. If you are in Longview, Hallsville, near I-20, that is going directly to the east-southeast right now. This is a storm that is basically right along our cold frontal boundary, but is definitely rotating. Again, this entire line of thunderstorms is rotating to some extent. Whether it's strong or weak is all, you know, to be determined, but this entire line is rotating, and we are going to see a lot of tornado warnings again over the next few hours. And a growing concern again of discrete supercells is now forming east of Little Rock, and these could easily become tornadic pretty quickly. We are already starting to see convergent signatures west of Pine Bluff, so that is not something that you want to see. They're very early stages. Back over to St. Louis. Again, no new radar scan on our regional radar site. If we go to the terminal radar site, the rotation over Clayton does not look nearly as strong. The one, again, west of St. Louis is definitely the stronger of the two. You can see how it's kind of wrapped up into a little tiny hook here. So Webster Groves is going to be directly in the path of that over the next few minutes. Real quickly, I want to go to Florida because we do have a tornado warning again northeast of Orlando. This is another very populated area.
A new tornado
area of rotation is over Sanford. If you're in this warning, seek shelter. This is very close to the Sanford International Airport. We have yet again another tornado warning in Missouri. This one's going to be back over near St. Louis. Let's jump to that. This is going to work. All right, so we're going back over to St. Louis, or this is not St. Louis. It's going to be down in southern Missouri. Large tornado warning here. This is east of West Plains, west of Van Buren. So anywhere in this pink polygon, we got to be in our safe place right now, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Main area of rotation, there's actually several of them. We're on a radar hole, but we are looking down here near Alton and then another one over Winona. Those are the 2 areas. This is one of the worst radar holes that we have across the board, so it's hard to see rotation on radar, but we're looking in that general area for a tornado risk going towards Van Buren and then eventually going towards Poplar Bluff. We also have a lot of damage reports coming in from the west side of St. Louis near Union, kind of in the suburbs, and I would expect a lot more of those here over the next half hour in St. Louis as intense damaging winds and a tornado risk continue to increase with this line of thunderstorms. Unfortunately, this radar is not updating very frequently. We are getting radar scans every like 4 minutes right now for St. Louis. That is not ideal. But we are looking at our main area of rotation again to still be here near Kirkwood. Here's the latest scan. This right here is the area of rotation that's most concerning. It's over Afton, Missouri right now. Waiting for radar to fully update. The one near Clayton has mostly become a wind threat. It's gotten surged out by wind. It could try to form a new tornado risk, though, once it goes towards Collinsville, Glen Carbon, and Edwardsville. So this storm could try to cycle a little further to the north. There's also an area of rotation here near Imperial that is coming together. Another little hook down there. So there's a hook here. And again, this is really the main hook that we're looking at, which would be just north of Melville, going directly into the St. Louis area over the next few minutes. Again, the good news right now is that does not appear to be a tornado. I think that is going to be clear air contamination. But if we had a tornado, it'd be right over Afton. So that is going directly up into Bevo Mill, Dutchtown, and Holly Hills over the next few minutes. And we got to be in our safe place if we are in this tornado warning right now. Very high winds right now in St. Louis. This is live in St. Louis on I-170. Visibility has dropped to well under a quarter of a mile. Roads are also puddling quite a bit. So that's what it looks like, again, directly inside of this tornado warning. I would expect a lot of trees and power lines to come down. If you, I mean, at this point, you gotta stay in your safe place, but if you're out in front of this line, have flashlights ready to go, have any sort of light source ready to go, because there is a very high likelihood that we'll have a lot of power outages from this line of thunderstorms. Once again, main area of rotations right over Afton right now. You can see that hook. That is right over Missouri 30. Moving directly east in a very intense area of wind right now near Richmond Heights. We have right around 60 to 70 mile per hour winds happening in Clayton. So that is the expectation again for St. Louis, is that we could see a tornado, obviously, but the wind is very significant on the west side of St. Louis. They have just issued a new tornado possible severe warning that is north of Springfield, Illinois, near Petersburg. That is moving directly towards Interstate 1, or that's moving towards Interstate 55. Also, if you are in Springfield, this is what we got to watch right here. Mostly broad rotation, but we're talking about another 60 mile per hour wind risk there. We are now up to 19 severe thunderstorm warnings. We currently have 6 tornado warnings. Again, we have multiple tornado warnings in very highly populated areas. This is one of them near Conway, and the rotation is still definitely there right over Interstate 40. Nothing that has come together full yet, but we are watching that rotation again near Conway, and another one maybe north of Conway that's trying to tighten. That is going to be moving towards Holland and Enola over the next few minutes. But again, nothing confirmed on any of these storms right now. The only tornado that we think we've had so far would have been on the west side of St. Louis about 25-30 minutes ago. The storm that is near Longview, Texas is currently in the middle of cycling, but this is a pretty organized storm and it's attempting to produce a tornado. Another, again, very highly populated area here, not as much as St. Louis, but Longview and Hallsville, we need to be in our safe places now in case this does drop a tornado. Area of rotation currently is over White Oak, moving down to the east-southeast, going directly towards US 279. And again, there could be a lot of other storms rotating. Obviously, we have a lot of weather analysts, including Riley and several other people that are looking at other areas of rotation right now. Again, it's not just the ones that are tornado warning. There's a lot of other areas of rotation. We have a brand new tornado warning. This one's going to be in that radar hole that we were talking about for Van Buren and Doniphan west of Poplar Bluff. If you are in this tornado warning, you need to get to your safe place now. Dangerous line of thunderstorms with embedded areas of circulations is moving towards you guys at this moment. It's moving east right now at about 40-45 miles per hour. Pretty quick moving line. It's actually moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Excuse me. This is a rapidly moving line of thunderstorms at about 65 miles per hour. Again, a very intense and extensive squall line has developed all the way from Illinois back into Texas. We've been forecasting this for days now, and it is all now coming together. Back over in St. Louis, we are now starting to see a new hook trying to develop on the northwest side of St. Louis yet again. This will be approaching Granite City and Namemoki, as well as Glen Carbon in western Illinois here over the next few minutes. We do not have a update yet on velocities. We are waiting for that. But that right there is another hook that is attempting to develop, and that might be cycling and trying to drop a new tornado. But the rotation's actually gotten stronger. This is the terminal radar site, a tighter area of rotation right over Kingsway West. We also have an area of rotation on the southwest side of St. Louis. Again, there is a tornado warning for 2 different areas of rotation. It's not one. There are 2 separate ones. The one that is southwest of St. Louis has still not fully come together, but it is definitely still rotating. It is moving towards I-55. It's about to cross over I-55, approaching the St. Louis Downtown Parks Airport, which is called CPS, Centerville, and Washington Park in Illinois. And then this one is also trying to come together. Big surge of wind. Inflow is increasing over near Jennings, and that is approaching Granite City right now, and then eventually going towards Glen Carbon. By the way, for those that are asking about storm chasers, obviously there are storm chasers out there. All of them are in the Mississippi River Valley. The reason why is because we are expecting a risk of discrete supercells to form over the next few hours. And unfortunately, we have several going up right now south of Little Rock. I do want to really reiterate here that there is a real risk of strong tornadoes and maybe significant to intense tornadoes with any storms that form out in front of this line. And we are already starting to see rotation west of Whitehall. And that is concerning on its own. We already have rotation again just to the south there of St. Louis, south of Little Rock. And we have storm chasers that are currently en route for these storms, but This is kind of reminiscent of the severe weather event that we had last year, the high risk in this area, the Lake City tornado day. You guys probably remember back in March of last year. Not saying we're going to see a repeat of that, but the setups are honestly not super far apart. I mean, we have a fairly similar region that we're talking about, pretty similar risks across the board. I know today isn't a high risk, but I'm also surprised we don't have a moderate risk of tornadoes, or at least moderate risk of wind or tornadoes, because I think that area is definitely in a much more heightened risk for severe weather. So I'm growing increasingly concerned for that area. If we go over to our tornado threat, we got a large 10%. And that is where discrete supercells are possible. The Storm Prediction Center has maintained this area as a 10% tornado risk, but we'll see. I'm not going to be surprised if we get a lot of those storms rotating here soon, because there's several of them going up, and we already have rotation west of Pine Bluff and more rotation northwest of Risen. Back over near Conway. This is within our line of thunderstorms. Again, still some rotation now on the east side of Conway. If you're in Conway, you still should be in your safe place. Damaging winds ongoing right now. Lots of lightning, heavy rain, still rotating on the east side of Conway. Back up near Batesville, west of Pocahontas, it's mostly damaging winds. Tornado risk is pretty low in that area for right now, but that obviously could change. And then if we're in Van Buren or Doniphan, we need to be in our safe places. Still a large area of tornado warnings. It mostly has to do with the fact that we are in a radar hole there. We do have a new damage report coming out of Brandsville, Missouri, of wind damage at West Plains Racetrack. Time is estimated by radar, so right around 4:30 Central Time within the last half hour. Back into St. Louis, we still have two distinct areas of rotation. They are going to be out of St. Louis in about 10 minutes. So if you're in St. Louis, we need to still be in our safe place right now. Some people are saying that there's a lot of darkness currently in St. Louis, which is valid. It is definitely going to be dark out there. Very intense line of thunderstorms moving in. Waiting to see what our velocities look like and all that. New severe warning for all of St. Louis, Collinsville, Edwardsville, and Belleville. And that'll be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. There is also a tornado possible tag on this. Here's our latest radar scan. And we're looking at our main area of rotation near Interstate 70. It's going towards Granite City and the Horseshoe Lake State Park. It's right along the Mississippi River Valley. And the latest scan is a little bit stronger. So we got a little bit more, again, inflow coming into the storm now, just southeast of Jennings. Again, this is about 5 minutes away from being out of St. Louis. This area of rotation here is also a few minutes away from being out of St. Louis. But this one has definitely intensified over the last few minutes, right over Interstate 70. If you are over here, still in this tornado warning, like Clayton, Webster, Groves, Kirkwood, any of those areas, we are looking at mostly a damaging wind risk right now. But there's obviously rotation and a potential tornado risk still off to your east. That is basically over the center of St. Louis. Towards Interstate 270, Belleville, and Collinsville over the next few minutes. Further off to the north near Springfield, it's mostly damaging winds right now. The tornado risk will likely increase over the next hour. We still have a lot of wind right here. Still a little bit of rotation even trying to develop right to the southwest of Springfield, going up towards Chatham and Auburn. And then if we go further down to the southwest of Frederickstown, we got a pretty intense line of thunderstorms moving in the direction of Perryville, Farmington, and St. Genevieve. Fredericktown, Marble Hill, Jackson. We are all only about a half an hour to an hour away from some pretty significant damaging winds and the possibility of tornadoes. And then further down to the south and west near Conway, still a few different areas of rotation right now, right over the east side of Conway, Arkansas, moving towards Holland, and then eventually going towards Villonia, Center Point, and Garland Heights. And everything for the most part in between Conway and Longview is all wind. There's obviously a possibility of embedded tornadoes in this line, but really we're really mainly looking at the ones that are actually rotating. Not many of those storms are rotating right now. The one south of Linden we need to watch closely. It's kind of a discrete cell that's formed inside of this line, not really rotating much right now. And then the one near Longview, Texas, I would say still a broad area of rotation that's approaching Hallsville and Interstate 20. So that one currently does not look nearly as concerning as before, as we have a lot of convection now out to its south, which is going to kind of merge into this storm, which will likely limit the tornado risk in the short term. But down the line, tornado risk could definitely increase. Back over to St. Louis. I want to go to our terminal radar site here. And the last couple of radar scans are showing really strong rotation on the north side of St. Louis. And there might be a tornado there. It would be right over Eagle Point. It's now crossing over the Mississippi River Valley, and it's now approaching Granite City. The one further south on the south side of St. Louis is not as strong. There's also a new area of rotation northwest of Edwardsville, Illinois, that's moving towards Mount Olive. This right here, though, could have maybe just been, I mean, it's very close to being a tornado if it was not already a tornado. Right on the north side there, St. Louis near North Riverfront. Going right into Granite City right now. Sort of looks like live inside of our tornado warning. Very windy. This is on I-70 at Cary. So this would be really basically right next to that area of rotation that we're talking about. Very close to it. Pretty heavy traffic in St. Louis right now. Obviously, we are at rush hour.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
They have gone ahead and issued a brand new tornado warning for this storm. So this is going to include Collinsville, Edwardsville, and Interstate 70. Again, main area of rotation is this one right here, north of St. Louis. We got a brand new radar scan coming in. There's also a couple other ones west of Staunton, west of Mount Olive that could get warned. So we got, again, area of rotation south of St. Louis. We got another one here west of Collinsville. And we got two others right here west of Staunton, going towards Mount Olive. So if you are in this area, you need to be seeking shelter. We need to be watching these two. We got tiny little baby hooks right here north of Wood River, north of the St. Louis Regional Airport. And these could actually get tornado warned too. But if you're in Collinsville, Edwardsville, Swansea, KBLV, west of Pocahontas, we need to be again in our safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. Again, the rotation currently is quickly moving to the east. I want to remind you, this line of thunderstorms is moving quick, anywhere from 45 to 65 miles per hour to the east. So storms are very fast moving right now. And so it's going to be pretty crazy out there. This is on the east side of St. Louis. You can actually see, look at all the wind right now. This is looking basically into Illinois. This is live. This is literally the storms rolling over right now. So the rotation would pretty much be, there's one down to the south of this camera. There's one to the north. This is at I-270 near Riverview. The wind is very intense. You can barely see the trees now. You can barely see off to the left the clear skies. It was overcast, but now this is right inside of the storm, and it is very windy here. We also just got another special marine warning, but again, very windy right now on I-270. And bottom middle cameras also basically in the same exact area. You can see, again, this is the area of rotation. This one's been pretty strong. Again, this is your little hook right here over the southwest side of Granite City. Area of rotation is right over Venice, going towards Platoon Beach, Glen Carbon, and Maryville. Very strong area of rotation that's surging out right here. Or at least area of strong wind, excuse me. But the rotation is definitely trying to intensify still. And we may have even had a brief tornado here right near I-70. Nothing confirmed, but the rotation was pretty tight there for a moment. We have a new severe warning near St. Genevieve, near Parks Hills and Farmington. That'll be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's also a tornado possible tag on that. And we have shame. We have people parking under an overpass in St. Louis. Guys, I don't know how many times I have to talk about it on these streams. Parking under an overpass is so dangerous, not just for the people that are driving on the roadway, but also if there is a tornado, you are in a debris filter. Maybe this guy right here is watching the stream. Maybe both of them are. But like, what are we doing? There's no purpose of parking on an overpass at all. And people start parking on the highway and it leads to this massive traffic backup. Unbelievable. We had a storm chaser, Nick Gorman, get out of his car the other day. You might have saw it on our social media pages, but he literally got out of his car, knocked on somebody's window, and was like, get out of here. Why are you parked in the middle of the highway? Like, people have to drive. Like, literally, that's at the end of the day, like, you should not be parking in an overpass. It is literally the worst idea ever. Puts you and everybody else's lives at risk when it comes to debris potentially going right under an overpass, or also just in general, like, people behind you could cause a big accident, especially with the low visibility that happens with these storms. Terrible, terrible, terrible idea. All right, back over to radar. We got a new radar scan coming in. Again, we got 4 different areas of rotation, all within about 20 miles of St. Louis. Most of them are around or north of St. Louis. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a tornado warning going towards Mount Olive and Litchfield. We still have a very strong area of wind surging out towards Glen Carbon and Collinsville. And no active tornado right now, but this has had a hook echo constantly for the last 15-20 minutes. They have gone ahead and issued a new tornado possible severe warning for Mount Olive, Gillespie, as well as Bunker Hill. 60-mile-per-hour winds and an area of rotation right now north of Bethelo or Belhalto. Another one, again, there's two different ones. They're both going to be moving into that little yellow polygon that was just popped up here near Mount Olive here in a moment. So if you are in, again, there's a lot of warnings going to issue. We just got like 3 updated warnings. All right, we got a bunch of warnings coming in now. We got 2 new ones in Arkansas. So we're back up to 22 severe thunderstorm warnings. We have a new one that's going to be over near Pocahontas. So this will be Pocahontas, north of Walnut Ridge, and as well as Maynard. That'll be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We got another one south of Little Rock near Benton, Malvern, and Sheridan. That is also going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We have another severe warning in Texas, west of Nacogdoches. That is also for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Say it with me. We got 60-mile-per-hour winds with like every single warning here. The one that's south here is St. Louis or Little Rock here. This is in Arkansas. We are still seeing a very defined area of convergence coming together over Whitehall, north of Pine Bluff. And I do want to reiterate here, this is a discrete cell well out in front of our line of thunderstorms. And there is a real possibility that a storm like this could produce a significant tornado if it can organize. You can see the hook echo. We got an inflow. It's a pretty clean storm right now. We got one that's coming out of the southwest that could hinder this a little bit, but that's a pretty concerning storm there. It's obviously in a fairly rural area right now, but it'll be going towards Stuttgart as well as Holly Grove and then eventually going towards Clarendon. Got Storm Chaser, Tornado Pagey en route for this area. We also got a couple other storm chasers that are a little bit closer to this. So we'll be keeping an eye on those chasers as they are kind of mixed around this area. North of Pine Bluff and surrounding areas. Again, none of them have a view of anything yet, but these storms are definitely pretty concerning here. They're well out in front of our line. And you can see actually almost every single one of these tiny little cells is rotating. It's mainly this one. One near Stuttgart is not really rotating yet. The one that's over here near Carlisle or Carlsley is not really rotating either yet, but it's at least a little bit of rotation there right now. That camera live? Is there people parked under the overpass again, or am I tripping? Bro, do people park under the overpass again? What are we doing? There's not even a tornado warning anymore for St. Louis, and people are parking under the overpass again. Unless that's from no, that's not even flooding. What are we doing? There's literally no tornado warning anymore for St. Louis, and we have people parking under the overpass. With that said, the rotation that is currently near Collinsville, east of St. Louis, is still fairly strong for this line of thunderstorms. At the bare minimum, we have damaging winds around 65 to 70 miles per hour approaching Collinsville. Radar's picking up on velocities around 66 miles per hour. Peaking at about actually 68, just north of Interstate 5570. We'll have another radar scan in a second, but again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually got, let's go full screen here. We got 2 areas of rotation here. We got 2 here. We have about 2 more south of St. Louis. We have 6 areas of rotation across this line right now within about 20 miles of St. Louis. That is only within the 20-mile radius here of St. Louis. We have 6 areas of rotation. Might even have a 7th right there west of Belleville. All right, going to our northern storm spurts as the radar updates. Main area of rotation that we're looking at, we got 1 near Bunker Hill.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, we need to go south first. We just got a brand new tornado warning. This one is another populated area. A lot of populated areas in these tornado warnings so far today. This one's for Bloomsdale, St. Genevieve, as well as Farmington, east of Park Hills. If you're in this tornado warning, you need to get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom, get away from windows and go on the lowest floor possible immediately near Interstate 55. In a large area of rotation, it's going to be really this area here, just to the north of Farmington, east of Park Hills. That is going directly towards Interstate 55 right now. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, I'm looking in Illinois. This is our tornado warning for St. Louis. Off to the south of that near Valmeyer, headed towards Waterloo. This area is rotation is going to start to wrap up here pretty quickly. It will probably produce a tornado. So probably a new tornado warning coming there soon.
Thank you for the update. All right, so again, we have this tornado warning around and just east of St. Louis. We have another area of rotation near Valmeyer that is increasing, going directly towards Waterloo. We have several other areas of rotation, guys. We got 1 here, Got another one here that is east of 255. Another one right there near Centerville. And then this right here is the strongest one still. This is located, again, just west of Glen Carbon. Very strong area of rotation still resides near Pontoon Beach heading towards Maryville. Coon Station, Marine, and Grand Fork are going to be in the path of this. Highland also. So if we're one of those people that lives in this area here, we got to be in our safe place still. Very intense winds at the minimum, but also the potential for a tornado does exist with this line that is currently stretching here across very far western Illinois and eastern parts of Missouri. All right, let's go back down to the south. Again, we have 5 tornado warnings right now, 4 of which are either in Illinois or Missouri. We still have 1 in Texas. We no longer have any tornado warnings in Florida, which was kind of the surprise of the day. Back to the 1 in Texas. It's still a broad area of rotation over the south side of Longview. I do not think they're going to continue this tornado warning. This has mostly become a wind threat for the time being. Down the line, obviously, we could get a tornado warning again with this line of thunderstorms, but I'm not seeing any definitive areas of rotation. We have a little hook actually developing near Gallatin, near Rusk, so we'll be keeping close tabs on that. There's also one that is northwest of Oil City. This is mostly wind 2 right now, but again, pretty discrete storm here. If it's able to mature a little bit more, we could see an increasing tornado risk. We are still looking south of Little Rock too. Again, this storm right here, south of Little Rock, look at this little discrete cell. That is, again, it almost looks like, again, if we look at this storm here, there's a very clean hook echo. Again, it's pretty much a discrete cell here. But this going into Sherrill and Tucker, again, this could become tornadic pretty quickly. See the greens and reds mixing together here. Rotation, again, not super strong yet, but it is in a very favorable environment for tornadoes. Slot 1, by the way, was switched. We need to go back to slot. You have to put slot 1 or push it again. I switched it. This is what it looks like live over in Pine Bluff. This is the Pine Bluff storm. See the lower clouds out there in the distance. Again, not really looking at a wall cloud here or anything like that. Just scary looking clouds off in the distance. Just looking northbound at exit 36 on the Princeton Pike. And again, you can see a bunch of storms right now going up around and just north of Little Rock. This is our entire line of thunderstorms. It's at this point producing at least scattered to numerous damaging winds around 60 to 70 miles per hour. No tornado warnings currently in Arkansas, but I think that'll change here pretty quickly. We still have snow squall warnings barely to the west here of Jefferson City. It's crazy that we have snow and also severe weather right now. We also need to watch this storm on the southwest side of Springfield, Illinois. Rotation's gotten a little bit stronger on the last couple of scans. It is embedded in this line of thunderstorms. We got a little hook that is developed on the southwest side of Woodside. It's coming up towards Southern View and Springfield. So a little bit of a rotation right now. I wouldn't say it's that strong, but it could increase in intensity as it continues to move into Springfield, another pretty populated area here. The trend with today so far is that almost every tornado warning has been in a fairly populated metro. We had Conway, Arkansas. We've had St. Louis. And now we have the east side of St. Louis and also near I believe it's Geneva. Is it Geneva? St. Geneva? Rotation's not as strong there. We have several other areas of stronger rotation further off to the north. But again, if you are in this tornado warning, we need to continue to be in our safe place. Again, area of rotation right now is just to the north of Farmington. Moving towards St. Genevieve, apparently. Genevieve. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, just got an update for the Storm Prediction Center, a new mesoscale discussion for Illinois and northern Indiana. This is about a severe watch. Not going to see much of a tornado threat, if any, up here. So they'll issue a severe watch instead of a tornado watch, but there will still be a damaging wind risk across this area.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So that'll be, again, across northern Indiana, southern Michigan, and eastern Illinois. If you guys are up here, you guys might get a break. All right, you guys might get a break from our large tornadoes. We had, again, multiple large tornadoes here over the last week and a half. Again, we had the Michigan tornadoes, and we also had the Indiana tornadoes literally just a couple of days ago. This is our tornado risk once again for today. And even though they didn't outline a tornado risk up here in that Storm Prediction Center mesoscale discussion, the Storm Prediction Center does have a 2% hatched area all the way up in northern Indiana. So I wouldn't fully rule out a tornado up here. I think it's a low risk. The moisture is not nearly as high up here in Indiana and Illinois, but it's definitely still high enough for a possible tornado threat. So we keep an eye on this area. Again, Fort Wayne, Lafayette, Noblesville, and Indianapolis. Once again, this is our area of most concern today for tornadoes. It's in the yellow. Even though all of our tornado warnings are not in the yellow right now, the yellow area is where the highest likelihood and probability and the highest confidence is for strong tornadoes today.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have a new tornado warning here in, once again, Illinois. The Illinois tornado risk again is increasing. This one's going to be south of Belleville. It's going to be for those in Waterloo. Riley was talking about this just a moment ago. We have two areas of convergence coming together. So again, if you're in Smithton, New Athens, if you are in Mascotha, just south here of Interstate 64, we need to be in our storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom, get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible. That is moving to the east-northeast, going towards Highway 13 right now. There's another one that I was just talking about near Springfield. They have a tornado possible tag on this. It's a large area of just broad rotation. The latest scan's not nearly as organized, but velocities right now are around 80 miles per hour on this storm. So it's actually a pretty significant swath of wind that is developed on this cluster of thunderstorms. Again, all of that moving towards Rochester right now. We are now sitting once again at 4 tornado warnings. So tornado threat, again, is continuing to increase right now. We got several storms that are going up south of the Little Rock. We got one that's west of Pine Bluff, another one north of Pine Bluff. These two storms we're keeping very close tabs on as they are discrete. We have another one also west of Risen. I honestly expect over the next hour, we'll probably start to see a much higher tornado risk here south and east of Little Rock, just west of Memphis. We have some more damage reports coming out of the west side of St. Louis as these storms went through. Trees have been reported down over in Washington. In Union, there's also a tree down reported there. Another tree down into a house in Sullivan. This is one of the reasons why, even if you're not in a tornado warning, and for the record, Sullivan, Missouri was not under a tornado warning when this happened. There was a tree that fell into a house. I saw a photo from, I believe, our last severe weather event of a tree that literally fell into somebody's bedroom. Like a big, large tree branch, it like poked right through the top of their roof and basically almost down into their bed. Obviously, this is one of the reasons why I want to reiterate that if you are in a severe warning, it doesn't matter of what kind, as long as there is a wind threat of any kind, it can be a tornado warning or a severe warning, you should not be on a higher floor. You should not be looking outside in your windows because a tree could fall down, a trampoline could go flying, literally anything could happen. So I definitely do not recommend being near windows. Again, always be on the lowest floor possible whenever you are under a severe warning, because that is one of those concerns for today. And this is also one of the things that we've been seeing a lot of, obviously, today. But this is a photo that was sent in by one of our viewers over in Indiana. This was actually, I believe, from yesterday. But I do want to reiterate that this is something that could happen today, too. It does not take much for winds to knock down trees. We had like 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts that were pretty widespread. This is also from the storms earlier today over in Benton, Arkansas. The sky outside of their house here, again, pretty ominous. We had a little bit of wind damage also in the Bentonville area or Benton area from the storms. So again, pretty intense conditions expected here over the next several hours. Widespread damaging winds are also expected here across a very large area. This is what it looks like over right now in Princeton Pike. This was in the Pine Bluff area. So again, we had a little lowering trying to develop. That was one of those storms that is discrete right now. We're keeping an eye on that area. We still have tornado warnings currently east of St. Louis. We have 2 areas of stronger rotation near Waterloo, west of Smithton, just southwest there of Belleville. That area of rotation that was stronger east of St. Louis has gotten a little bit weaker over the last few scans, but damaging wind risk is very significant still, right along Interstate 70, tracking towards Highland and Grand Fork, just off to the east of St. Louis. Springfield, we now have a 70 mile per hour severe thunderstorm warning here. We also have several areas of rotation that are approaching Lincoln. We got 3 areas of distinct rotation that are approaching Lincoln, Illinois. If you're tuning in from Lincoln, we need to be staying alert. They do not have any severe warning or any warning at all right now for Lincoln, but if you're tuning in from that area, stay alert. We'll keep you posted if we get a tornado warning there. We have a little broad area of rotation near Hartsburg as well. We also have a brand new tornado possible severe warning in Texas. They have canceled that tornado warning for Longview. 60 mile per hour winds, quarter-sized hail for Crockett, and then the storm over here northwest of Nacogdoches was just upgraded to a tornado possible tag. You can actually see the hook echo. It's like a semi-discrete supercell within this line of thunderstorms. It's moving towards Cushing, Reclaw, and Mount Enterprise, just to the south there of New Summerfield. Not seeing really any other areas of rotation across this line that are imminent, but there, again, almost every single storm within this line of storms is rotating right now. And we still have an area of convergence trying to come together right now near Sherrill, Arkansas. There's another one west of Pine Bluff that is early stages, but is trying to come together. And once again, we do have storm chasers that are en route for these storms right now. Several storms right now south and east of Little Rock that are discrete and could produce a higher tornado risk. I do want to remind you that, again, our tornado threat is going to be peaking not really soon. We still got time, right? So this is about 5 o'clock. So this is within the last, this is basically within the last 30 minutes. Our environment is still the highest when it comes to tornadoes anywhere in this green and red. So anywhere basically along the Mississippi River Valley back into East Texas, but specifically over here in Arkansas and Missouri, any discrete cells that fire in this area have a lot to work with when it comes to a tornado environment. Our wind shear and our winds in the low levels are also very intense today, and this is helping to increase our tornado threat, both with our line of thunderstorms and also with our discrete cells that could form out in front of this line. By 6 to 7 o'clock, notice how this environment is still very ripe for tornadoes. This again could go as far north as Chicago, all the way down towards Houston, Texas. It is a very long corridor. This is all going to be with our line of thunderstorms, but any discrete cells out in front of that line have a lot to work with when it comes to this tornado threat. And then by 8 to 9 o'clock tonight, this tornado threat is going nowhere. This picture here would be about 11 o'clock. Our tornado threat will actually be very high over here in the deep south, including Mississippi, as well as Alabama, back into Tennessee near Nashville. And if we go over to the East Coast, this tornado threat will stay very elevated, especially in the southeast, into the overnight hours, into early tomorrow morning. And then we have a moderate risk of severe weather in place for tomorrow. So I do want to remind you again, our tornado threat for today will probably peak sometime between 7 and like 12. It's a large range, but we're not talking about the tornado threat peaking right now. I know we've had 6 tornado warnings and whatnot, but I think the tornado risk will continue to increase as this line of thunderstorms matures. And as I've already shown you guys, again, the satellite imagery right now, there's been a lot of clearing out here to the east. Granted, the sun is starting to set, but we've had a lot of clearing out here across Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kentucky that has built up a lot more instability, which means this line of thunderstorms, as it continues to push to the east, it is going to continue to produce significant damaging winds, pretty significant storms too, and then also the risk of several tornadoes. And in this tornado watch, the Storm Prediction Center did mention several tornadoes are likely, and that is just for this tornado watch right here. It does not even include the ones off to the north and west. These are separate. But the one right here, several tornadoes are likely right along the Mississippi River Valley. So today, I think, again, is going to be a very long afternoon and evening ahead. Back over to our storms east and southeast of St. Louis. We still have a stronger area of rotation right now west of Smithton. It is not on the ground right now, but right now on our velocity scale, we put this around a 6 out of 10. So again, not on the ground right now, but medium area of rotation. We also have one near Waterloo that's moving towards New Athens, and as well as the Okawville area. Nashville will eventually be in the path of that. The rotation that is directly east of St. Louis has gotten a little bit broader, but we still have this little hook that is embedded in this line, and we could still see a tornado if we get more of an inflow going towards Marine and Grand Fork. And then the rotation near Stoughton and Mount Olive has gotten a little bit broader over the last few minutes. That's moving towards Hillsborough and as well as Litchfield. Taylor Springs is also going to be in the path of that. We still have a 70-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm going through Springfield. The rotation's also gotten a little bit stronger right over Springfield, Illinois. Last few scans are showing a little bit more rotation. Again, it's not enough, I think, for a tornado warning, but if it gets any tighter, I could see there being a tornado warning. Also, there is a possible tornado developing right now west of Lincoln. This is entirely unwarned. But look at the hook here and look at the velocities. That is awfully close to being a tornado if it isn't one. I'm kind of surprised we don't have a warning right now for Lincoln. If you guys are tuning in from Lincoln, Illinois right now, I would be at least staying away from windows as this storm approaches. There's no tornado warning. That is a very tight couplet, though. Right over Highway 22. It's going to be crossing over I-55 here in about 3 to 4 minutes. We are, again, this is the 5:25 p.m. radar scan, about 5:26. This is about 2 minutes old, but if I had to guess, this will probably be on the ground at any moment if it's not already on the ground. We're waiting for a radar scan. Lincoln, Illinois. If you guys have friends or family in Lincoln, Illinois, they need to be aware of this. Again, give them a call, give them a text. Got a brand new radar scan coming in now. Unwarned area of rotation. It's pretty strong too. That's one of the strongest couplets I've seen so far today, outside of the one that we had near St. Louis. And this is the area of interest right here. If we have a tornado, it'd be right about here near I-55. They just issued a new tornado possible severe warning. That's all the way down here. That's west of Mount Vernon. So this will be down here near Red Bud and Sparta. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Got some rotation, that line there. Waiting for velocities to update. And again, if we have a tornado, it'll be right about here, just southeast of Burton View. And I get this is, again, a line of thunderstorms, but I mean, in my opinion, this definitely would That would be enough for a tornado warning. Latest scan is a little bit more windy now, so it's not as much of a tight couplet, but it's still rotating. So I'm surprised we don't at least have a severe warning. This is going directly into Lincoln. Logan County Airport, you guys are in the path of this too. I would assume flights are probably going to be grounded here. We also have an area of rotation developing north of Lincoln, another little hook here. That is over Hartsburg going towards Atlanta.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
They have now just issued a tornado warning. That will be not this storm? Question mark. Where is it? Oh, it's all the way down here. This is Missouri. This is back over to the southwest of Poplar Bluff. That's near Doniphan. So if you're in this tornado warning, you got to get to your safe place now. Get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. This is not far from Naylor. Naylor is included in this tornado warning. Pretty ominous skies right now out there in Poplar Bluff. We got a bunch of radar omega cyclone ports that we'll be keeping close tabs on as this line of thunder, or as the storm continues to approach. But area of rotation is right now near Missouri 21, going directly to the east right now. Going back to Springfield here real quick. We still have an area of rotation over Springfield. We'll have another radar scan on the storm in a second. Once again, Lincoln, we are keeping an eye on a potential tornado threat going right into Lincoln. No warning on that storm at all right now. There's another one north of Lincoln, too, that we are keeping close tabs on. East of St. Louis, we got, again, a bunch of areas of rotation. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got about 4 within this stretch here. That's about 25, 30 miles. 4 different areas of rotation, basically stretching from Litchfield to Waterloo, Illinois. And then further south, near St. Genevieve, or again, I don't know what the pronunciation was, but over here near Bloomsdale, rotation is a little bit weaker. It's going to be right over near Interstate 55. There's not really a clear hook echo on this storm that we are seeing, so not as much of a tornado concern. I would say it's more of a wind concern right now, but it could cycle. So if we are in St. Genevieve, I think I got it, St. Genevieve, we need to be in our safe place right now. I think I got it. Maybe, hopefully. It's north of Perryville. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning south of Little Rock. This is going to be for the Stogart area for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size tail. Got multiple supercells that are going up right now. Any of these could, again, produce tornado risks down the line. Any lane for the $10 super chat in Iowa, want wind done with. It's going to be windy there all evening, unfortunately. We have a new tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for Greenville, Piedmont, as well as south of Des Arc. Genevieve. Genevieve? Did I get it? Genevieve. That's another pronunciation I just saw. We have another tornado possible severe warning in Illinois. This is going to be for Greenville and Hillsborough and Nokomis for more 60-mile-per-hour winds. Hey, we got it. This is going to last as long as Kankakee did. That one did not last very long. I only knew it for like 5 minutes. Just went away after that. We still have rotation on the west side of Lincoln. At the bare minimum, 60-mile-per-hour winds are coming into Lincoln in Illinois, approaching the Logan County Airport. So again, if you are in Lincoln, we need to be, again, away from windows right now. There's a little bit of rotation over Broadwell, too. I'm still surprised we do not at least have a severe warning for this activity near Lincoln. At least a tornado possible tag severe warning. A little bit surprising once again. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, I wanted to talk about the area where we have basically all of our prefrontals going up right now down in southeastern Arkansas. A lot of these are trying to root a mesocyclone, which would eventually lead to a tornado and actually get a little bit bigger, but they're struggling. I think what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to see these storms grow a little bit, and they're going to have to stick around until low-level jet kicks up a little bit later in order to produce a tornado. That's a little bit lackluster right now, and I think that's what's been fortunately holding us off from seeing these storms produce a tornado. That being said, they are running out of time. The line of thunderstorms that's moving off to the east is moving quicker than these storms are. So we're going to start to see some nudging action happen here with prefrontals in the back, and that's just going to eventually go through all the prefrontals that we're seeing. But the prefrontals that do make it to just after the sunset hours will likely pose a significant tornado threat. It's just the environment isn't really there in terms of the wind profiles for these storms just yet.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the insightful update. So again, we are monitoring a potential tornado risk again in Arkansas. That would be from those prefrontal supercells. So we are keeping an eye on that still. Once again, if you're just tuning in, we are covering a major severe weather outbreak. This does include, again, tens of millions of people. The exact number of people that are in this risk of severe weather today is, I believe, 100 million. If I'm doing my math right. Yeah, it's about 110 million people are at risk of severe weather today. Again, we got that level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk of severe weather from Indianapolis back down towards Mobile, Alabama. There is a risk of strong tornadoes pretty much anywhere in this risk today. It's almost the entire region. Damaging winds are going to be very widespread. Again, we're going to have trees, power lines falling down this evening all across the Mississippi River Valley. We are talking about a potential for widespread damaging winds. And so if you are in this pink or red area, you need to make sure you have your trampolines hatched down. There is a very high risk of flying trampolines today across this area as widespread damaging winds are expected. We have yet again another tornado warning. This one is going to be back over near Redbud, Sparta, Coulterville, just to the northeast of St. Genevieve. So if you're in this tornado warning, get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom, get away from windows, and get on the lowest floor possible. We're keeping an eye on these two areas of rotation here. I'd say this one's probably a little bit more of just a little bit more of contamination. It's not very, it does not look like, it looks like silo there, west there of Redbud. And then there's another area of rotation here that's basically crossing over the Mississippi River right now, going towards Sparta and Coulterville. So again, get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom if you are in that tornado warning. And we have several other areas of rotation still in western Illinois. We got one here south of Belleville that is tracking towards Okawville. We have another one near I-70. We have another one near I-55. And then this one's right over Mount Olive. So there's about 3 within 10, 15 miles here within this line of thunderstorms. Back up near Springfield, we are still monitoring the potential for a tornado. In fact, the one near Springfield looks interesting. This is on the back side of the storm on the west side of Buffalo. And a little tightening is coming together. So this is near Interstate 72. You can see the velocities. They're measuring around 75 mile per hour winds. So the wind's obviously very intense, but we also have it rotating right now. And we could end up seeing a tornado on the backside of this storm here. So Dawson, Buffalo, Illipolis, as well as Harristown and Decatur, we need to be watching this storm closely as it continues to move east-northeast. The storms that are going into Lincoln right now are mostly damaging winds. There is still a little bit of rotation directly over Lincoln near Interstate 55. So again, tornado threat is not overly high right now, but it is definitely existent right now over the Lincoln area. This will be basically going up I-55 towards Waynesville, Hayworth, Wapella, Clinton. We're all in the path of this. Up near Chicago, we don't have severe weather right now, but we have some gusty winds and some strong storms moving through. Keep in mind, Chicago and surrounding areas are going to see several inches of snow tonight. So you got strong to severe storms for the next couple hours. And then you're going to have the potential for snow. There's still a major blizzard ongoing here all across the Midwest. This is what it looks like out there near Appleton, Wisconsin. There are, again, there's a lot of snow on the ground right now. CJ Ziegler is closer to the freezing rain area. I think he's passing by a cop car. I don't know if that's a good thing if he was slowing down, but that's over to the northwest of Milwaukee. So again, there's actually snow up there currently. And we've had upwards of 30 to 40 inches of snow already in some places, and it's going to continue to be pretty significant. We have a new wind gust report coming out of Farmington of 60 mile per hour winds. So again, this line of thunderstorms basically producing widespread 60 to 70 mile per hour winds at this point. A TV meteorologist in Collinsville, Illinois, noted several gusts of over 60 miles per hour in his Storm Runner vehicle. Very descriptive. Northeast of St. Louis there. This line of storms now approaching Pocahontas and Greenville. We have another severe warning in Arkansas. We're up to 23 now. This one's near Magnolia, west of El Dorado. Ping pong ball sized hail and 60 mile per hour winds for this severe warning. We got a pretty nasty looking storm right now northwest of Shreveport. This thing might be producing some pretty large hail right now. They have this warned for 2-inch sized hail and 70 mile per hour damaging winds and quite a bit of lightning. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation still with this cell, but that is a big storm right now moving into northwest Louisiana. Not a whole lot of other storms rotating right now further down to the south and west. We have a little discrete cell still near Cushing, or semi-discrete, that's embedded in this line that is going towards Nacogdoches, eventually going towards Center and Timpson. And then over near Little Rock, we got that line of thunderstorms moving through Little Rock right now. It's moving east-northeast, really at about 60 to 70 miles per hour. It is a very fast-moving line of thunderstorms. Pretty overcast, not really seeing a shelf cloud right now over on that camera northeast of Little Rock. We got some storms again that are directly to the south of Little Rock that are producing at least the potential for a tornado within the next half hour to an hour. Again, they're going to run out of time by about 7, 8 o'clock. But if any storms get going here, a strong tornado risk will exist. So we need to continue to keep a very close eye on these prefrontal supercells that have all gone up down here. And east of Little Rock, we're looking at mostly gusty winds. No tornado risk right now in Little Rock. Back over to our tornado warnings west of Poplar Bluff. We do not have any tornado warning yet for Poplar Bluff, but we could get one here soon. These storms, again, are in a radar hole, so we don't really have a clear view of these, but we have rotation embedded in this line. We're mainly watching this area of rotation near Donovan, going towards Nellyville and Naylor. There are some live cameras here that we are also keeping eyes on in case we can see anything. Right now, it's just very overcast. Can't see the shelf cloud quite yet or any sort of wall cloud. But ominous skies currently in these areas. We have a new tornado possible severe warning. This one, honestly, long overdue. This one is going to be for Atlanta, Hayworth, Clinton, and Lincoln, Illinois. So we've been talking about this storm for a while. There's been a lot of rotation, at least off to the west of Lincoln, and it's been rotating even over Lincoln over the last few minutes. But we have some more areas of rotation developing directly north of Lincoln. So this is north of the Lincoln County Airport, near Lawndale, Atlanta, moving towards McLean. We should be staying away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible right now. Again, put as many walls between you from the outside as possible as this storm passes over you here over the next few minutes. We also just got a severe thunderstorm watch for Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. So we will be keeping an eye out on that here pretty soon. We'll have an update for you here shortly.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have a new tornado warning. This one is also going to be in Illinois, Logan, and Sangamon counties. This is the northeast of Springfield. And guys, we've been talking about this one too for quite a while. There's a pretty strong area of rotation that's developed once again over the northeast side of Springfield, moving over Dawson, west of Buffalo. It's moving towards Lake Fork, Mount Pulaski, and then eventually going towards Chestnut. So seek shelter immediately if you're in this tornado warning. And we also have to watch this area of circulation too that is directly south of this warning too. That one's been trying to come together here over the last few minutes. There's been a little bit more rotation along and just south of Interstate 72. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, looking at the prefrontal environment, we just had a cell go up near Warren in Arkansas. Already severe warned, has a huge hail spike on it. This thing is the biggest updraft we've seen all day across all of our convection, and it definitely has the ability to produce a tornado threat if it can just continue to substantiate itself and keep growing. We've talked about it a little bit, how there's just a lot of convection in here. They're kind of all fighting with each other. This storm is big enough to where it will outcompete all the storms around it and could eventually become a discrete supercell. So that's already producing a damaging wind and hail threat as it's headed up towards Rye and Cornerville, but it could get even more significant than that, especially once we see that lower level jet kick in just a couple of hours.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So again, if you're in Star City, if you're over in Dumas, Grady, Gold, we need to be watching this storm right here pretty closely. I would say the one big thing right now that we are seeing, as Riley alluded to, is there is a lot of convection, and that's going to probably be a bit problematic for these storms producing a more significant tornado threat. But if any of them can get organized, which it's very possible if they do, we could end up seeing a potential strong tornado threat exist. So we need to be watching these again very closely. Keep in mind that, again, we do not need these discrete storms to produce tornadoes for us to see strong tornadoes today. The large hatched area that we have today for strong tornadoes is not just for these storms, it is also for our line of thunderstorms. We do not have a real risk of discrete cells up here in like Illinois or Indiana, for example, or at least that far to the north. And so again, that is regarding our line of thunderstorms. There's so much wind shear. There's very strong low-level winds that are all coming right now to the southwest, west, south, wherever it's coming from. It's all coming from the south and west. And with all the wind shear that we have today, it's not going to be hard for one of these storms that's embedded in the line to produce a tornado. And it could be easily strong too. So again, you need to be ready for this. Again, anywhere in the risk area, it doesn't really matter where you are. Crazy stuff. We have a snow squall warning in Joplin and Carthage, west of Springfield now. This is snow, guys. We just had severe weather not too long ago nearby, and now we have a snow squall warning off to the west of Springfield. So pretty crazy stuff there. Going back to our tornado warnings, we have a tornado warning off to the northeast of Springfield. This one has several areas of rotation. We got one that's tightened north on the north side, or kind of the center side of the tornado warning, west of Lake Fork. We got another one here near Buffalo or Dawson and Buffalo. That one's moving towards Mount Pulaski as well. We have two more areas of rotation south of Lincoln. Those are broader. We have more rotation near Atlanta. All of a sudden, we have a big increase of rotation in central Illinois. We got like 4 or 5 areas of rotation that are pretty strongly rotating right now. So we need to watch all 5 of these. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually 6. Might have even having a 7th one right here near Buffalo.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
They have gone ahead and issued a new tornado warning. This one is going to be in Arkansas, so northwest here of Jonesboro near Walnut Ridge, southeast of Black Rock, going towards Paragould and Marmaduke. So get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom away from windows and on the lowest floor possible if you are in this tornado warning. We are now up to 7 tornado warnings here across the United States. And as this is our highest number of the day. And I expect this number to probably get even higher. We will have, I think, at least one of these warnings expiring here shortly. Check on that in a second. This is a live shot inside of this tornado warning. My goodness, look at that. This is live inside of the tornado warning here near Walnut Ridge. A large circular area that we're looking at there at the top right of your screen. That is going to be the area of rotation. Somebody just changed slot 1. Somebody change it back, please. That one in Arkansas. It's back live. So this is what we're looking at again here. Again, right now in Walnut Grove. Again, this is the storm that we're looking at. And so again, there is an area of rotation currently. It's a very contaminated area of velocities, but we're looking at that rotation moving towards Walnut Grove and Hoxie, and then eventually going towards Sedgwick. So if you are in this tornado warning, we got to definitely be in our safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Dangerous looking storm here, currently moving into Walnut Ridge. To keep that bottom right of your screen. We also just got a tornado possible severe warning on the south side of Chicago, guys. This is a pretty populated area. We're talking about Dolton, Orland Park, Tinley Park, Park Forest, Harvey. The rotation is right here over the southwest side of Homer Glen. Do not have an active tornado, but there's definitely strong rotation. And what's crazy is that this area, again, is going to be seeing snow not too far from now. It's going to be possibly some moderate to heavy snow tonight after this. So there's an ongoing tornado risk that is developing. And then also there's now, going to be snow in a few hours. But that rotation is definitely pretty strong. Very strong surge of wind, again, going in the direction of Indiana right now. So all moving east. Let's go back down to our tornado warning here in Illinois. Near Atlanta, we have a strong area of rotation. This is near Atlanta and McLean. That's a strong area of rotation. No tornado warning for that. Rotation's got a bit broader east of Lincoln. We still have several areas of rotation south of the Lincoln radar site. All 3 of them have actually broadened on this latest scan. But we have about 4 areas of rotation. Buffalo all the way back up to the south side of Lincoln. I don't know. I'm surprised why we don't have a tornado warning on this either. This is an
urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
All right, guys, we got a tornado in progress. That one's going to be in Arkansas. So that includes 3 different counties. This is going to be for the storm that is over near Walnut Grove. All right, so we need to be getting to our storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom, get away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible if we're in this confirmed tornado warning for Walnut Grove. Once again, Walnut Grove, this is in northeastern Arkansas. We have live cameras again inside of this tornado warning. We at least have a couple. And again, let's get all 3 of them in slot 1 through 3. I don't know if any of the other ones have views. All 3 of them on the bottom of your screen. These are all inside of our observed tornado warning. This is the first official confirmed tornado of the day. This is according to weather spotters. So weather spotters are confirming a tornado once again in Walnut Grove. This is going to include Jackson, Lawrence, and Randolph counties. So we need to get to our storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom immediately. We got to run there. Do not walk to your safe place. There's a risk of strong tornadoes once again. This is what the storm looks like right now. And I want to be honest, I don't know where exactly we're going to have to be looking here. I would think on the left side, there might be some sort of non-condensed tornado, but this is a live look looking directly at this storm right now in Walnut Grove. This is, again, one of the Arkansas dot cameras. This is directly inside of the east side of Walnut Grove. And I'm going to put...
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
All right, they have gone ahead and issued a new confirmed tornado warning for this. This one's going to go towards Paragould, Rector. And so this is, again, the same storm that we're talking about, but this is live inside of this tornado warning. I believe the tornado's on the middle left. It might be non-condensed. So, again, you need to get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom right now. Walnut Ridge. You need to be in your safe place. Again, that is live right now inside of Walnut Ridge. This is another live shot. Again, we'll have 2 good live shots of this tornado, assuming we can see it. This is looking directly where it is, though, bottom of your screen. Tornado will be located right over here on the south side near Hoxie. And that will be eventually going to Sedgwick, Light, Walcott, and Paragould. We also have a update. Tornado warning in Illinois will continue. So that is going to be this storm right here, south of Lincoln. Still looking at several areas of rotation. Still no tornado warning for the area of rotation near Atlanta. The camera here is starting to shake now. So you can see the camera is now shaking. This is right where our wind is now increasing. There is a tornado again being confirmed by weather spotters here in northeastern Arkansas. This is north of Jonesboro, going in the direction of Paragould, Marmaduke, and Rector. You guys do not have to be in your safe place right now if you're in Paragould or Marmaduke, but if you are anywhere near Rector or in those areas, you should be getting ready to go to your safe place. I would get the essentials like your pets, family to your safe place, and any sort of flashlights, because this could end up being a pretty significant storm as it continues to move northeast. It is again actively producing a tornado. I think it's right there in the middle. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, real quick, we just got an update from the Storm Prediction Center. New mesoscale discussion. This one is for basically just Illinois, and it does mention damaging winds up to 90 miles per hour. 90 miles per hour.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. Large area here. We'll talk more about this here in a second. I want to go back to that live shot. That looks, I think that tornado is non-condensed there in the middle of your screen. So the tornado is going to be right there. We do not have a clear evident area of debris being picked up, but it'd be right there. Again, this is the area that the tornado is being reported. It's on the south side here of Walnut Ridge, and it is moving again towards Paragould, Marmaduke, and Rector. It's going to be a non-condensed tornado. What that means is that you can't see the condensation funnel
has been issued,
like you would typically see in the movies. That's basically what we're talking about here. And so the tornado's there in the middle, I'm pretty sure. I think what we're seeing, that kind of like little fuzzy stuff there, I believe that is debris from an active tornado or from a previous tornado. We have another tornado warning back over in Illinois that was just issued for Perry County. I think that is what we're looking at again in the middle of your screen there. I think that is right there, the remnants or a potential tornado still in progress. It's just not condensed. New tornado warning is going to be here east of St. Geneva, south of Nashville. This is going towards Sparta. So if you're in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately. Get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. Holy moly, look at this. Look at that. That's the tornado there on the left. This is live also inside of this. Really windy. This is inside of the confirmed tornado warning. There's a real chance this tornado might even be rain wrapped. This is insane. I don't know if that's even it. We have crazy winds, though. This is the same camera that we're just looking at a moment ago where we had again, storm clouds rolling in. This is inside of the storm. And so it is very, very windy right now. There could be a tornado down. You can see that car on the right has completely stopped because of how windy it is. Look at all that dust being kicked up there on the left. Got birds flying all around the camera, too. It's going to get really windy here in a second. I have not seen any power flashes yet, but this is obviously a fairly populated area in northeast Arkansas, north of Jonesboro. Once again, tornado is down here near Walnut Ridge. It is just south of the regional airport. If there is still a tornado, it's near Dickus and then eventually going towards Whiskerville. This is all, again, confirmed by weather spotters. We are in a radar hole, so it's not clear and evident. You can see all the dust and stuff being kicked up on the left. That is probably from either damaging winds or a tornado. Everything on the right here is going to be a big surge of wind here in a second. There is a possibility this could be a rain-wrapped tornado too. And we don't really have a great idea if it is or not because of the fact that the radar site here is just so far away. But no matter what we just saw a second ago was really intense winds, and we're about to see that again here in about 30 seconds or so. The winds are going to ramp up a lot here over the next minute or so. This is what it looks like again inside of the storm, where the winds are still very intense. Not as intense as before, and now you can see they're starting to ramp up here now. So this is in Walnut Ridge, going again towards Paragould, and this is what we're going to be experiencing down the line as this supercell continues to move towards Paragould, Arkansas, and then Kennett in southeastern Missouri. So here goes the wind, and the hail is going to start to pick up here. I mean, there's a real possibility this could be a tornado again embedded in the line of thunderstorms. Thank you, Caitlin, for becoming a member. And here goes the wind. So again, this is easily 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, what we're seeing now, and it is continually getting more and more intense. Wind was very strong a second ago, and now it's ramping up. Here we go. So here comes the more intense area of wind now inside of this storm in Walnut Ridge. Still looks like around 60 mile per hour wind gusts there. I'm going to keep that bottom right of your screen. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, looking at the severe warning near Stuttgart and Arkansas, the storm is actually interacting with the forward flank of the storm behind it. This could very quickly push the mesocyclone towards the surface level, which would lead to a quick tornado formation here. Not currently producing a tornado, doesn't have that strong of a couplet, but need to have a sharp eye on this one in case something decides to happen really quickly.
A new
Thank you, Riley,
tornado
for the
warning has
update.
been issued.
Yeah, so again, we have storm chasers nearby on this. We're keeping an eye on them. We also just got a brand new tornado warning, which is going to be back over in Illinois. So Illinois, we have a new tornado warning. This one's going to be southeast of St. Louis near Nashville, Centralia, just south of Carlisle. Holy crap. Look at all these rotations here. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 areas of rotation. 3 of them are within like about 5 miles of each other. So if we're over in Okawville or near Nashville or Irvington, we need to be in our safe places now. If you're over near Centralia or Sandoval, you guys got a few minutes to get to your safe place. Again, get anything that is important. Again, like pets, family, etc. Any flashlights too. Very helpful stuff. But this is again all moving currently directly towards Nashville. Also, inside of that storm that Riley was just talking about here, that has a little rotation area developing right now. This is what it looks like currently on the HazCam, and you can see there's a attempt, at least right now, of a lowering on the left side of your screen. That would be the area of interest here. And there's also been a few cloud to ground lightning strikes, but you can see right there that's going to be having to be watched for is right here. Can somebody put that HazCam in a slot? Or actually, I can. I think I can. If it works, unless it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Does not work yet. But again, this area that we're looking at here looks like a little funnel trying to develop right now, at least a wall cloud that is attempting to develop right now, right above this little power line. And this is a storm that could end up producing. I'm keeping that bottom right of your screen. That is live in slot 3, bottom right of your screen. But again, rotation right now is right over Humphrey, moving towards Stuttgart. And then we got another area of rotation behind it. And that one has a little hook inflow coming into it as well. And so these storms, again, don't have a huge amount of time to do something, but they're definitely going to try. Going back up to our confirmed tornado warning. Once again, this was confirmed by weather spotters. If we still have a tornado, it's over the east side now of Walnut Ridge. It's near US Highway 412. This is moving towards Marmaduke, Paragould, and Rector. That is our confirmed tornado warning. Once again, we have 8 tornado warnings. We have 27 severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, we are live with commercial-free coverage. If you guys got friends and family in the path of these severe storms, feel free to share the stream, get the word out there. The only way that we can actually provide this coverage is by getting the word of mouth out there, right? So if you guys got friends or family out in the path of these storms, give them a heads up. We're going to be live again all the way into the evening hours and well into the overnight hours covering this major severe weather outbreak. This is, I believe, the most combined tornado and severe warnings that we've had at any point so far this year. So we are obviously at a pretty high number right now at 35 combined warnings across the board when it comes to severe and tornado warnings. Going back to Illinois, we still have several areas of rotation near Mount Pulaski. I don't think they're going to issue a new tornado warning for this quite yet, but we're watching this area here near Highway 121 moving towards Clinton and Maroa. That is just to the northwest of Decatur. We also had a severe warning here south of Chicago that had a strong area of rotation. That's become more of a wind threat for the time being. We are still monitoring a low-end tornado potential in and around Chicago for the next half hour to an hour. I think really the most concerning area when it comes to this line of thunderstorms is right now in southwestern Illinois. We have, again, several areas of rotation, all currently moving towards Nashville, Pinckneyville, and Okawville and Centralia. So there's several areas of rotation there. Over near Poplar Bluff, we have had a tornado warning on this storm for quite some time. They do not have it anymore. This is what it looks like out there in Poplar Bluff. And you can see there are, again, some low-hanging clouds. I do not see any sort of active, again, tornado here. Do not see any sort of large wall cloud yet, but this is a storm that we need to watch as it is embedded in our line. Has been tornado warned several times already in the past, and this is a little bit better of a shot of this storm right now. So large shelf cloud right now rolling in. And this storm's going into Poplar Bluff, eventually going towards Bernie, Malden, Campbell, Clarkton, and Dexter. You guys are all in the path of this. We have a brand new radar scan coming in right now. Again, tornado warning is in effect for Walnut Ridge, Paragould, Marmaduke, and Rector right now. So we're going to wait for that. Real quickly, going back down to the south, this is that storm near Stuttgart that is in Arkansas. We did have a little wall cloud trying to form a second ago on this storm. Go over to slot 3 here. You can kind of see this is the area of interest. This is literally right inside of this severe thunderstorm warning. We had a little cone that was almost trying to form. You can see the birds flying across the screen too. They know the weather's happening. They're evacuating this area. But they are, again, inside of this area near Stuttgart. All right, apparently we have a photo that was sent in that I have to look at here. We have a few photos and videos that you guys have sent in. Going to quickly go through some of these. This is over in Bryan County, Oklahoma, of the storms building up earlier on an airplane. Really cool stuff there. All right, we had something in slot 11. We're at 9, or this is 8 here. Green County, big shelf cloud. This over in Weldon Spring, Missouri. Huge shelf cloud rolling in. This is over in Conway, Arkansas. Some scary looking clouds. And then this was in Lockport, Illinois, near Homer Glen. This is sent in by Vivian. That might be a tornado right there. This was, again, in Joliet, Illinois. That is all spinning, though. You can see all the spin. That is literally all spinning. That would be a tornado right there if it was touching the ground, which it looks like it was, or very close to it. Might be non-condensed. That is a spinning area, though, near Joliet. Do we know what time this was taken? This was sent in. We just had this got sent in like 3 minutes ago. And for those that are saying that is scud, you can clearly see the rotation. And yeah, there is some, it looks scuddy. It's definitely raggedy and rough, but I mean, that's all spinning right there. And that could be easily a tornado there. That's 100% rotation. Do we know when that was sent in? We have a new severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible tag in Illinois that is south of Decatur. So Taylorville, Shelbyville. We are looking at this storm here. Again, that's a line of thunderstorms producing damaging winds. That is actually, okay, so that's a storm from Chicago. They did put a tornado possible tag on this. So that was probably about 15-20 minutes ago when that was sent in, but this was just outside of Chicago. And I mean, again, the rotation was actually pretty strong there for a moment.
A new tornado warning.
So we may have had a tornado. We have a new tornado warning. This is east of Lincoln. This one's going to be for Forsyth, south of Clinton, Argenta, Oriana. You guys are included in this. If you are in this tornado warning, you got to get to your safe place now. Get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. Main area of rotation right now is going to be just to the north and east there of 121. We have another one here as well. Again, 2 different areas of rotation, both directly moving to the east, just south of Clinton. Look at the bottom left of your screen. That's over near Poplar Bluff right now. That is a crazy looking shelf cloud. I'm going to go full cam to that. Huge shelf cloud. Again, this was tornado warned not too long ago, and we will definitely not rule out a tornado with this storm as it continues to track east. Got a double stacker here. And then this is inside of that severe warning where we are watching a potential tornado risk. We got a funnel cloud. This is a funnel cloud live in Stuttgart, Arkansas. So what we're looking at right there is a funnel cloud. This is on one of the HAZ cams right in downtown. And this storm, again, is pretty discreet. You can see bottom right of your screen. That is a funnel cloud, guys. We got a funnel cloud trying to come down. Look at the velocities, bottom right of your screen. We got more birds flying by this camera, too. This is at least the second attempt of this trying to produce a tornado. And there go more birds.
A new tornado warning.
They have just tornado warned this. So there's a brand new tornado warning now for this storm. All-timer, Humphrey, Stuttgart. You guys are all included in this tornado warning. Bottom right of your screen. That there on the left side of your screen is a attempt at a funnel cloud. It is trying to drop a tornado actively right now. See all the rain curtains too kind of just wrapping around it. Again, not on the ground right now, but it's attempting. Velocities have gotten way stronger over the last few minutes. Look at the bottom right of your screen. Very tight area of rotation. So I do not think we're far from this being on the ground. Again, if you are inside of this tornado warning, you got to be in your storm shelter, your basement, closet, bathroom, whatever puts you away from the most windows as possible. Put yourself away from as many windows or walls as possible. You got to be in the most interior room, lowest floor possible. If you are in a storm shelter, or if you're in a mobile home, if you're in an RV, any of those, you guys should be going to a sturdy structure right now. Because if this drops a tornado, it's going to possibly be significant. Again, the velocities have tightened, and I think we're very close to a tornado.
A new tornado warning.
We're now up to 10 tornado warnings. We have another one in Missouri that's for Bolinger County. That will be just to the north of Marble Hill. Well out in front of our storms. That's north of Marble Hill. Look at this line of storms moving in right now to Poplar Bluff. That is a crazy shelf cloud right there. Oh, we're mostly focused on this tornado warning, but that is a really crazy line of storms. Look at that right now here. Again, over near in Stuttgart, Arkansas. This is going to drop a tornado, I think. We got a large funnel coming down. This is a live shot from the Phillips Community College. You can see it all rotating right now. We got a lot of motion. And this thing is gearing up to try to drop a potentially strong tornado. Waiting for velocities to update. If there's a tornado, it's going to be on the southwest side of Stuttgart near Goldman, just east of Humphrey. Is there like a bird migration happening right now? There was so many birds going by on this camera. We got another flock of birds right there. Maybe they just see the rotation. They're like, we're going away from this. Got a large skinny funnel about halfway to the ground there on the left. Got a lot of rising motion there in the middle right. Large funnel cloud right now coming down here in Stuttgart, Arkansas. This thing is really trying to drop a tornado right now. You're just tuning in. This is the highest number of tornado warnings that we've had today. We're at 10 tornado warnings. We have a tornado attempting to drop maybe a new area of circulation there in the middle now. This is on the southwest side of Stuttgart. Again, and we also have Storm Chaser Tornado Page quickly heading that direction. They are almost in the tornado warning right now. So we'll have two eyes on this, including this HazCam. There is a very large lowering developing. That initial funnel cloud has gotten a little bit more rain wrapped, not nearly as organized. We have a new area of rotation developing here on the right side of your screen. On the right of your screen is that area of rotation. It's not super strong on the last scan. We'll have another scan in a second, but it's definitely trying. Hey, Elizabeth for becoming a member. Shout out to also Aaron for becoming a member. Shout out to Old School with the super chat. My wife and kids are visiting the St. Louis Zoo. Visiting families are danger there. No, I mean, there's a lot of storms mostly past you, so you're pretty much done with that. There is still a funnel there on the left side of your screen. It's still there. It's a funnel cloud on the left there. It's kind of rain wrapped, but it's there. It's about a third of the way down to the ground. It's not as low as before, but it's trying. And then the middle of your screen is another area that we're looking at. Another flock of birds. So many birds are migrating right now. That funnel is basically a needle. Very, very thin funnel cloud right there. On the left. Large area of scud on the top right. Got multiple areas of rotation that we're looking at with this storm. And keep in mind, these discrete cells that are in this exact area only have about 45 minutes at most, I would say, to produce a tornado. Because of the line of storms coming out of the west. But it's definitely trying right now. Hey, Richmond for becoming a maximum velocity member. More birds going by. They're all migrating. That warm air has gone so far to the north. All right, this is about to go right over the camera. You get the lowering at the top right. Still got a funnel cloud on the top left. That funnel cloud is very faint at this point. It's maybe a fourth of the way to the ground. It's gotten a lot higher here over the last couple of minutes. Also, guys, I am looking at other storms as well. We are keeping an eye on every storm. This is the only one right now that is currently inside, or at least has a camera view inside of the tornado warning. Still got the funnel cloud top left of your screen. That is still a needle funnel cloud top left. I know it's getting more faint, but that's at the top left of your screen. And it's actually still there. That's more panned out now. And by the way, I don't have control of this camera for those that are saying to pan out in the chat. But that right there at the top left is still a funnel cloud. It's actually gotten a little lower here over the last half minute to a minute. It's really trying. It's not, it looks a little, again, it's like a rope right now. This is very close. That is still a funnel right there in the middle of your screen. It is a very thin needle. If you're just tuning in, this is in Stogart, Arkansas. This is looking at the Phillips Community College HazCam on the middle of your screen. That funnel is getting lower and lower. It's actually halfway to the ground now. It is a rope. It's about 2/3 of the ground. It's trying. It's almost down. It might be non-condensed. It's very close to being on the ground right now. It is a very thin noodle. I can't tell if debris is being lifted up, but it's that funnel is condensed at least halfway to the ground right now. It is still about halfway to the ground right now. Got a lot of birds flying around it too. That is actually, it might be down. I can't. Oh, it's very close. Yeah, that's Birds have been flying around this thing the entire time. I think we got bird chasers out here today, but that is literally, I can't tell. That almost looks like it's on the ground. That funnel has gone down at least only maybe 100 feet off the ground. I think it's on the ground. I think we have a tornado down. It's on the south side of Stuttgart. It's probably not that strong, but there is a tornado. Yeah, it is a very small little rope tornado there on the left side of your screen. This is live. The tornado will be on the south side of town near US Highway 165. It's still on the left side of your screen there. It's a little bit higher up again, but that may have been might have made brief ground contact there for at least a second. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, so real quick, I want to talk about this sounding from exactly where the storm is located and why this thing is having issues producing a tornado. If we look at the green line here, this is showing the moisture, and we see there's a little bit of an inversion on this line where it goes back the other direction. That is why it's failing to reach the ground. However, its own precipitation will work to moisten the air, and over time it will eventually produce a tornado. We just need to fix that little bit of dry air at the surface level in order for that to happen. So that's why we've seen it get really close to the ground. But not quite produced. But that is something that will manage to fix itself over the next few minutes.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So again, looking live again, the funnel cloud, I don't even see it anymore. I think it's a the top left of your screen. It's about a third of the way down again. Again, one of the biggest things that we did have a feeling of today was that there couldn't be a lack of moisture. That was the one reason why today is not a moderate or high risk of severe weather, especially for tornadoes. The dew points right now are about 58, 59 degrees. If it was about 5 degrees higher, this would be on the ground undoubtedly. But again, the moisture and the low levels is one of the problems that we have today with the setup. And really, it is the main problem. There aren't many other problems that are limiting these storms other than just there being a large area of overconvection. But again, this storm is still producing the threat of a tornado. We need to continue to take it seriously. It obviously just produced maybe a brief tornado, and there's still actively rotation. We got our line of thunderstorms catching up to it though, so it really only has another half hour or so. But this storm is definitely moving directly east, and it may produce another tornado. So we have, again, storm chaser tornado Pagey. They're very close to this. They're gonna have a much better view of this storm a few minutes once it gets closer. That camera also has a view at least for the next few minutes before it's actually in rain. So again, we are watching this storm very closely as it does still have a tornado risk. Further to the north near Paragould, this is where we did have a confirmed tornado. It is back to a radar indicated tornado warning. The tornado is confirmed by weather spotters over in Walnut Grove. This storm is still continuing to move to the east northeast, going towards Kennett and Rector. Marmaduke is also in that tornado warning. We also have a tornado warning north of Marble Hill, west of Jackson. And so if you're in that tornado warning, seek shelter immediately. That is south of Perryville here in Missouri. There's a live shot here in Perryville, the shelf cloud coming in right now. Over in Poplar Bluff, a little further down to the south, we've had a damaging wind threat coming through. Pretty intense line of thunderstorms that's making its way through. This is the shelf cloud out in the distance, and you got a bird right here. A little bird chilling on the wire right here. I think the bird's looking and like, he might go chase it. Maybe a little bird chaser. We've had a few of these birds chasing storms today. It's actually kind of funny. It's over in Quinlan, Missouri, just to the east of Neelyville, again, where we have damaging winds coming in, but also a potential tornado threat. Further to the north, east of St. Louis, we have a larger tornado warning here over in Nashville, Carlisle, west of Centralia. This is going to be mainly again for wind, but there are some areas of rotation near Okawville going into Nashville. Irvington is also in the path of that. We also have a tornado warning over here west of Monticello still. No tornado on the ground as of right now, but we have an area of rotation northwest of Forsyth. We also have another area of rotation near Hayworth that is currently unwarned, but that one could also try to produce a tornado. So that's going over US Highway 51 right now, moving towards Leroy. They've also canceled a severe warning south of Chicago. That one did maybe produce a brief tornado not too long ago. All right, back to our Arkansas tornado warning. Tornado Page is very close to being able to see this storm. They are inside of the storm right now. You can also watch them inside of the Radar Omega app. This is live inside of the storm. Again, they have not yet reached the clearing area. The clearing's right here. They're right here. So they're only about maybe a minute or two from seeing the storm. So we should have a pretty good view of it in a second. This is that HazCam inside of the tornado warning. And again, not able to see that funnel cloud or tornado anymore. But in just a moment, we should have a view here with Tornado Pagey of this storm as they move into Stuttgart. And so Tornado Page will be bottom middle of your screen. We got the bird. Bottom left of the shelf cloud. And then we got the camera inside this tornado warning bottom right. Thank you, Kate, for becoming a member. All right, we have just kind of reset on our warning counter. We're at 21 severe thunderstorm warnings, and we have 6 tornado warnings. Keep in mind, whenever the warning numbers change like that every 15 minutes, it's because either new warnings are expiring at a 15-minute marker. So every 15 minutes we'll usually get a lot of warnings that go away. So we're back down to 21 severe warnings and 6 tornado warnings. Real quickly, over in De Pierce, Missouri, so on the west side of St. Louis, there were winds that blew open a strong steel door estimated at 70 miles per hour. We did have a tornado warning for the St. Louis area at the time of that. There's also tree debris blocking part of Highway D just north of Highway O in Leadington, Missouri, just moments ago. There's also another damage report west of Poplar Bluff of a couple trees down at junction of Highway C and Highway F near Eastwood. So some new damage reports coming out. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, got a new update from the
Wait, one
Storm
second.
Prediction Center.
New tornado warning in Illinois. This one will be back over east of Lincoln near Forsyth, south of Clinton. So if you're in this tornado warning, seek shelter, get away from windows. I think, oh no, it's this one. North of Shelbyville. So this will be east of Taylorville. Main area of rotation right now is near Pana going towards Sullivan, Mount Zion. So seek shelter immediately if you're in this tornado warning. Get away from windows. And get on the lowest floor possible. This is associated with our line of thunderstorms. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, just got an update from the Storm Prediction Center. Another meso-scale discussion, this time for southeastern Texas, central Louisiana, and eastern Mississippi. We're going to see storms move into this area eventually, and we may see a few supercells as well. So we're going to see damaging winds, large hail, and we're going to expect a tornado watch soon there. The watch probability is 80%.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So another tornado watch is coming here soon. The tornado warning over near Stuttgart has actually been canceled. This is a live look at it. We put tornado page G slot 2. They did cancel the warning, even though there is still rotation. We may have had a brief tornado. This is live inside of that storm right now. And you can see the lowering out there on the horizon. And that is the area of interest once again. We did have maybe a brief tornado on the south side of Stuttgart about 5-10 minutes ago. Despite them canceling the warning, the storm still has a hook. There is still some rotation.
Really see the base on it. I don't.
Down the window. That is what the storm looks like right now here. This is the southeast of Little Rock. Hey, Casey, for the super chat, is there more? Severe storms expected overnight in Florida. I would expect more severe weather tonight in Florida, mainly in the Panhandle. That is what the storm looks like right now near Stuttgart, Arkansas. So yeah, this is live with Storm Chaser Tornado Page. They're also live inside of the Radar Omega app. Not see any clear evidence of a tornado once again, but there is still a large lowering on this supercell. So we'll continue to keep an eye on them. They're going to be bottom right of your screen on this storm. Again, back over there to the east of Little Rock. We've had a few more storms go up too, just to the southwest of Memphis, and none of these have really gotten going yet, but there is still a potential for one of these to try to produce a tornado as they continue to move up towards Memphis. Those are, again, other storms that we're keeping an eye on. Over near Jonesboro and Brooklyn and Lake City. Big damaging wind risk right now. No tornado warning here near Lake City. There is a tornado possible tag. 70-mile-per-hour winds are currently surging into southeastern Missouri, going towards the Kennett. Area of southeast Missouri. We did have a confirmed tornado on this storm not too long ago, but right now it's mostly a wind threat in my opinion. We still have a tornado warning in Missouri east of Fredericktown, and we still have a hook. It's a very small little hook, pretty strong inflow also on the southwest side of Sedgwickville going towards Oak Ridge, Pocahontas, and Old Appleton. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation right now, but again, a little bit of a radar hole there. Back over in Illinois, we still have multiple tornado warnings. The ones that are over near Centralia. And Nashville, these are, again, QLCS tornadoes that we're looking for here. We got this large area bowing out. This will be a little hook here that could try to produce a tornado. There's another little hook near Carl. That could try to produce a tornado. There's another little hook near Carlisle that might develop on the northern side of this Boeing segment that could also try to produce a tornado going towards Sandoval and Salem. And then further to the north, we still have multiple tornado warnings east of Lincoln. The one here northwest of Shelbyville is a broader area of rotation. And then we have a little bit more rotation here near Maroa and Forsyth moving east right now. Still a large wind risk. And again, we have widespread damage damaging winds, literally stretching from central Illinois all the way back over into East Texas right now. It is a very large area that we are currently talking about for a significant line of thunderstorms.